Hi, this is Phoenix Genesis for PhoenixGenesis.com and our two YouTube channels, Phoenix Genesis and Friday Camp, day 111 of intermittent fasting. So I want to kind of combine this video with my Pacific Crest Trail through hike prep, and I want to show you how to stay warm, whether you're going out in the winter or just working out to lose weight because you're doing the intermittent fasting like I'm doing, or you just want to get healthier, or you want to go and through hike the Pacific Crest Trail, or combo of both, and you want to stay warm in the Sierras. So first up, these are some possum down gloves. Love these things. These are like the darn tough socks for your hands. I got these at Z-Packs, again, $27 with shipping. I'm 5'4". I got the large size. They tend to run small. So that is the first thing, and I'm actually roasting these things, and they're so soft. They feel like cashmere. I love them, and they've held up. We're going to take them out in the snow today, hold them up. Second, you want some kind of sunglasses just to protect your eyes, because in the snow you're going to have you know, the reflection of the snow, or just, you know, maybe winds blowing. You don't want to get something. I have contact lenses. I don't want to get something in my contacts or eyes, just to protect. And they look cool. These are the Black Panther ones. Don't need anything super expensive if you don't have the money. Again, these are cheap. I think they were $2.50 at Target when they had a sale in the kids section. The gloves were 27 bucks. Now I'm going to get into the main jacket. This was very expensive, and a lot of people, they already have their jacket. They like to have the you know, the Ghost Whisperer down, or another type of down. Down's great in the desert. I use my 7-ounce down, but in the Sierras, and if I'm going out in just places where there's rain and snow, if the down gets wet, it's useless. Yes, in my light little pack here. So I want something that is still going to retain warmth, and I want a hood also, because just the harsh wind and the snow and the rain. So this is made by Arc'teryx. I cannot say enough about this company. This is a really pricey jacket. It was about $300, but I got it for half price when Adventure 16 was having a clearance. I got this, I think, 2 years ago. It is, I have to say, let me back up. This is the absolute softest, warm, nice jacket I have ever owned. I cannot say enough. I mean, go and try this on in like an Adventure 16 or an REI and compare it to you know, other jackets that, like the REI, which I also have, the REI Puffy. Check the Ghost Whisperer, check some other jackets. This thing is just so nice, and it's nice because it's camo if you want to bug out, for those people that would have to bug out in an emergency. And the inside is orange, so I can turn this around if I need to signal for help. So this is very, very useful to have orange on one side, camo. Again, these guys, they're in Canada. They go out and have their employees test these things in the harshest winter conditions. You know, this is just I cannot say enough about the jacket. I think all together, when you pack it up, it probably weighs, with the hood, maybe 10, 11 ounces, 13 ounces most. It's not that much, but it's just absolutely worth its weight in gold. Next up, beanie, any type you want. Arc'teryx does make a really thin, like merino wool beanie. I don't like the way it looks. I like my Call of Duty beanies. I've done a lot of promos with my dogs with Call of Duty, so I like the Call of Duty beanies. And something, I recommend a beanie that has, if you're really cold, one that's you can double up. And you know, if not, this one's permanently doubled up, but I like ones that you can pull down over your face to keep you really warm, or you can pull them up and double them up like this. So anyway, that's it. Just any old beanie. Now, next up, I have 2 tactical scarves. I'll do a separate video on those. They're called also called schmogs, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Or just, you know, if you don't have that, they're like $12 at a surplus store. Just regular scarf. I got this the other day at a thrift store, and it's a long scarf, which also has some tactical advantages to the longer one, because I can kind of, when I'm sleeping, I can put this over me, tuck it around, and I've got like a bug net, and I can also, you know, wrap this around me while I'm doing laundry if I don't want to bring clothes in town and resupply, and I'm doing laundry, and I can, well, it's kind of see-through, but wrap it around me I'm doing laundry. So there's a couple different uses for this, but a scarf is something important. Now, when I wear this around my neck, this is equivalent of wearing a wool sweater, so I don't need to bring that bulky sweater, and it's a multi-use item. So scarf is next. Now, instead of a buff, I would wear a buff in the desert, but instead of a buff, this is probably the best thing, and I've used this in the desert too, and I almost didn't bring it a couple times. times when I was hiking the Pacific Crest Trail in the desert. And this is, we're talking not desert now, like this is dead of January, beginning of January. We're talking in April, and it was cold, and I was so glad I threw it in my ultralight kit. So this is both Nike makes one of these. This one is from Heinz. It's a 4-way hoodie, and what I love about this is, again, multi-use. Instead of just one item, you have the baklava part. This is number one. Then you can pull it down and expose your face and just kind of like have a full hood. You could pull this up and just have a hat, you know, so you don't need to have an extra hat if you don't want to bring one. And then finally you just pull it down and it's a buff. So this is four uses, one item. So think about that in your kit. You know, this is a little bit pricey. I got this at Big Five and it ran about $40. I think the Nike one's about the same price. They didn't have the Nike one at first, so I got the Heinz, but the Nike one would be fine too. I like Nike products. I think they last very well on my through hikes. I've been using them since 2016 on through hikes. Next up, I cannot say enough about good things about this as well. And I actually was so cold last night, and I was all bundled up and all this stuff when we went out to dinner after we've been working out all day, and the night before it was raining, and this morning it was kind of cold. It stopped raining, and I just wore this, and then I had a wind jacket, and I never even put my wind jacket on. So this is the Columbia, I think it's called the Omni Heat shirt. You can look it up. I got mine actually. I think they sell these at like Big Five, maybe at Dick's Sporting Goods as well. I got mine at Russ, Dress for Less. It was $12. I'm sure you could probably order them online as well. And this has these little, if you can see, these little silver, little, you know, little beehive almost pattern in here, and this reflects 95% of your body heat back to you, keeps you nice and warm. And I just kind of rolled up the sleeves. I just don't ever like having sleeves and long sleeves on at all, but you can sleep in this, you can hike in this, and to go along with that, and I'll get back to talking about also, you know, merino wool, but to go along with that, I just use these Nike tights. These are men's, and they're 4 ounces. That's it. And these tend to run small too, so these are, I think, an extra large. And let me back up so you can see these. See my legs out. Yeah, so I much more muscular, thinner legs. Look at this. Now that I've been, you know, working out and not eating bad food, no refined carbs and sugars, the legs are getting nice and firm and solid, and they're doing things like running now. Amazing, huh? When you change your life. So anyway, again, you can see this Omni shirt. I really highly recommend this. It kept me just nice and toasty, and we went out and did 2 miles this morning. We're gonna go in the snow. I'm gonna wear all this. Last up, I just wear regular old running shoes, even in the Sierras. I do tend to get an extra wide because I wear, you know, I want to have the ability to wear the thicker socks. So these are the regular ones. I also have the wide ones, and these are just the Nike Downshifter running shoes, really lightweight. I think 7.5 ounces per shoe, and they've been holding up in the rain and cold. Then last up, I normally don't wear these, you know, when I'm even in January in Southern California, because my feet, I have good circulation, and I have now a good metabolism from, you know, eating more protein and healthy fats and not all that. I don't eat gluten. I don't eat all that sugar. So my circulation, my resting metabolism's going. So I'm walking, which gets the circulation going, and that warms you up as well. So I normally don't wear these, but in the Sierras, if your feet get wet in the snow and the rain, you can just get frostbite. And I like having 10 toes, you know. So you know, 5 on each foot. Yes, they're still there. So Darn Tough socks. They're guaranteed for life. Company in Vermont makes them. If you get a hole, you can send them back. They'll send you another pair. So that's it. I have 2 different pairs in 2 different colors. If you take them, I would have an extra pair in case your feet get wet, and I would have 2 different colors, because that way you remember which ones you wore and which ones are clean when you sleep at night. So that I can't stress that enough. Have 2 different colors. So that's it. Darn Tough socks. So wool socks, and there's a trick too. If your feet get really wet, if you bring 3 pairs of socks and bring one larger like size, so you can kind of like Russian nesting dolls, you can put one inside the other. If you take your wet shoes off and you just put those 3 pairs of socks on, and you can walk in those, and it'll save your feet from getting cut off from frostbite. So hope that helps. You know, think about what you're doing. Also, one other thing I forgot too, you know, if you have any type of thick jacket like this and it's really windy, you're still going to need a layer to break the wind, because you don't want the, you know, the wind to suck everything out. Now you can bring a Frog Togs rain jacket for kind of your third layer if you want, to kind of keep the wind from being sucked out. I just use the Mountain Hardwear wind jacket with my, here's my little you know, ultralight 1+ ounce rain kit. So I'll bring that, again, more modular. So I just have a $1 rain poncho, worked fine in the Sierras, and you know, some women's hair coloring gloves to go over the possum down to keep them super dry. And last but not least, just 2 little poopy bags that I could put as little lightweight gaiters on my feet. So that's it, and these are biodegradable too. So that's it. Hope that helped. Oh, sorry, one more thing. The last thing I wanted to say is, yes, you could wear merino wool that's really, really warm. It doesn't stink. It's not like cotton that can kill you. But what the thing with the merino wool is I just really don't want to wear that when I'm hiking. I mean, that's great to just be a dedicated sleep system, but I find that I can sleep in these tights and be warm. I can sleep in this and be warm, and I'm going to be fine. Now, if I was going on a trip to Alaska or you know, Scandinavia, back to my family's home country in Finland, I probably would also add merino wool in addition to bringing this top and bottom. So that's just something to think about. But for us, for through hiking, lightweight, fast drying, you know, these dry so fast, 4 ounces, and this also dries really, really, really fast. So that's what I would think about taking. And also, last thing, when you pack this, when you hang it or pack it up at home, pack it, usually you want to pack anything that has kind of silver, like your bivy sacks. You want to put this on the outside when you store it when you're not using it. So having said that, Phoenix Genesis, keep working out, keep eating healthy, and I'll see you on the trail, Pacific Crest Trail, April. Bye.